I'm doing this video just to introduce you to a new water ionizer. It's called the Nexus X Blue, and this is actually, the Nexus company actually works with hospitals over in Korea and Japan, and I highly suggest you watch the video that's on the Nexus product page and see all of the different doctors, hospitals, patients, and various research that is being done with the Nexus ionizer in particular. Alright, so this is the Nexus, and it is a 5 large plate water ionizer. It produces awesome pH and ORP. I'm not going to actually show you testing on this video. I'm just showing you the ionizer itself this video, and I'll do the testing on a different one. But I've tested it and I know what it can produce. Now it comes in a pretty plain box, which I think is kind of awesome. They're not wasting money, and it is coming to you at a very good price. It's got all of its various FDA, GMP, and other certifications listed on the side of the box. Now, also with the ionizer will come things like a diverter, which this is actually a pretty good quality diverter, and it screws onto your sink. And it's got different sized adapter pieces in case it just doesn't screw directly easily. You can try these different sizes. And it's pretty simple to install. It does come with a clearly written instruction manual that goes over how to install. It also comes with the hosing that you need. There's the supply line is food grade plastic filter. It's graded for water filter supply hose, and then the acidic water comes out of this hose, and that's all the hosing that you need is all here. And let me see. Oh yeah, it comes with a little pH test kit. And so you can just make sure that your ionizer is functioning properly when you get it, and then maybe periodically every so many months just retest it to make sure it's still functioning at the levels that you originally tested it at. Okay, so that's that, and now I'm just going to show you a little bit of the operation of the Nexus. And first of all, it's got a flow control knob, and you just turn the knob, and the little voice will tell you what you have selected. I have it set on level 3 alkaline, and so it remembers that, and then when I go to turn it on, it will start pouring at that. Now there's a little word high there that shows you that it's coming in at a high flow rate. You can lower the flow rate to medium. Now if you lower it too low, it will turn off. So you just have to get that fine, tune how fast you want to flow it. It has a filter life icon right here. Now it looks like it's full now. So over time, the little, icon will look like it's emptying. And then when it's completely empty, there's a little tiny light that will light up that tells you to change the filter. Now, it's got a filtered water button. So now it's telling me that I'm pouring just filtered water here. And this is back to alkaline. Now you can just push the alkaline button to get it up to 4, or it scrolls down to 1 or 2 or back to 3. Now you could choose to push acidic water, which will light up over here in red. And I have the voice set on a low volume because I don't really like to hear loud voices talking to me. But when it does go, when you're pouring acidic, it will actually play a tune, which is good, because if you hear the tune, you know that acidic water is coming out, and you wouldn't want to drink that. So right now, acidic water is coming out of the hose, since that I'm hearing that tune. And then the last button down here, I'm just going to, I guess, turn it off. The last button down here is just the melody. Oops, I guess I have to turn that on. Oh, okay, I'm glad I turned it back on while it's on the video. Now, every so often, this will, when you turn it on, it'll go into this cleaning mode. And that it has to do that every so often, every so many liters that it pours. And as you can see, it doesn't take very long, and then you're good to go on pouring your alkaline. It's remembered that I like to drink it alkaline 3, so that's what it's going to pour after it does its cleaning. And I was going to show you this melody button. You can push that, and then so there's a little icon here that lights up that shows that that it's got a voice, or if you don't want to hear the person tell you what level you selected, you can turn that off, and then there won't be a voice. You'll just use the icon on the screen. So that's really all that button does. Alright, now what I'm going to do, the final thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the filter change. And this is actually pretty easy. I have my water coming in directly from down below, and my husband drilled a little 1/4-inch hose here and got little shutoffs there because I sometimes have 2 or 3 ionizers up here at the same time, so I need to be able to deal with lots of stuff here. But the filter door is just, simple. Open it, then you push down, put pressure downward, and then pull out. Now normally I will stick my thumb on the top when I'm getting ready to pull this out so that it just doesn't gush water out the bottom. And then so that's how you would remove the filter, and then you would insert it back in the opposite way. You just set it on the center place down there, push down, and then just kind of let it seat in there. And it has a spring loading capacity, so just as soon as I had it in the right spot, it just kind of raises itself, and it's nice and tightly sealed. Now there is a tiny little square button right up here, and if I was going to reset it, I would push it and hold it until I hear a ding, but I really don't want to reset it now, so I just don't. Oh well, I'll do it just for the video. See, and there's the ding, and that's just set back to 0. So I haven't really used this filter more than maybe a couple of gallons anyway, so it doesn't matter if I reset it. All right, now really. This is probably inconsequential, but on the back there is a tiny little hole here where you can stick the end of a steak knife or one of those teeny tiny screwdrivers and raise the volume or lower the volume. You can actually lower the volume to 0 if you want to. And then there's an on-off button here and a fuse. The fuse is very handy. I like ionizers to have a fuse because even though I've got this hooked in to one of those safety plug outlets, still if there were an electrical surge of some sort, I just like that extra protection that the fuse would blow rather than any electricity going into the ionizer in a surge. And that's probably one of the only things that would really damage an ionizer. These ionizers last for, 10, 15, sometimes even 20. I've got an ionizer which is almost 20 years old now, and it's still working. So they do last. They're built to last. And this is actually a very, very sturdy construction. It's made in Korea. It's not a Chinese ionizer, and I really would not sell a Chinese ionizer because of the electronics and other things that can go wrong if it's not done right. And in the Korean country and the Korean FDA, and everybody's on board with ionizers. Very enthusiastic country for making ionizers, and they take it very, very seriously as a science and as a medical instrument. So it's made with that in mind, to be used in, basically, like I said before, this is made to be used in hospitals or doctor offices and all kinds of things. So it's made with greatly sturdy construction. Okay, well, there's your introduction, and the next video I'll do is showing you the different levels of pH and ORP.